Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-May reading with Reading the Signs. These are just general messages for the last 2 weeks of May to see any additional messages that come up on top of the May readings. So first up we have the Fool, and we will go into that as we keep going. Could be dealing with an Aries energy, brand new start, something fresh, something rejuvenated, youthful, good vibes. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so that's a really good start. The Fool, the beginning of a journey, starting to see things come together, making decisions, being so set on where it is that you're going. Mental clarity, optimism, good vibes. And that Pentacle energy to solidify things. 9 of Cups, Knight of Swords, and underneath we have the 4 of Wands. Beautiful. I think the 4 of Wands came up for Virgo. Yeah, it was Virgo. So Sagittarius, wish fulfillment. Something, a brand new journey that you really wanted to go on, and it starts taking off. So you're building something up from the ground, but you're doing it with optimism and blind faith. So you're walking into something with your eyes open, but your heart open, your mind open, your spirit open, and you're really ready to see things take off. You know, with the 9 of Cups here, it's all about wish fulfillment, getting what it is that you wish for. And sure, we all know that happens whenever you're feeling at your most optimistic, things go better. You know, you're not in a bad mood and things suddenly start going well. You're taking charge of your own spiritual well-being. You're optimistic. You're feeling good about this month. You're feeling good about your decisions. You're feeling like, do you know, whatever's happened, I can make something of this. 3 of Pentacles is all about that beginning phase. Like it's all about the it's a pretty clear card. You know, you're feeling clarity in your decisions. And it may be that you're not necessarily clear of the details, but you've picked a path and you're feeling better for it. I feel like there may have been a period of indecision beforehand, and feeling a little bit like you were unsure which direction you were going to go on. And maybe it's Uranus changing signs. You know, Uranus is moving into your 6th house of career. And, you know, you might be thinking to yourself, I could do something else. I could start something else. And Uranus is an unexpected, sudden energy. You know, when you don't go with that rebellious flow in whatever area it is of the sky that Uranus hits for you, when you're not embracing the sudden changes, sometimes it can feel like an uphill struggle. And if you're meant to be making changes, Uranus likes to come in and switch it up for you. So this is shaking you up, but it's shaking you up in a good way. Like you're feeling positive with this shift. It'll be moving out of your 5th house, which is love and romance and children. So you may have had unexpected events in romance in the last 8 years. Unexpected events with your kids, with your family. You might have had very sudden relationships, you know, chopping and changing, with it being an Aries. And you're just starting over. You know, the Fool is an Aries card. So this could be Uranus shifting out of Aries and moving into Taurus, which is Pentacle energy. Something more stable, something more substantial. Feeling a little bit more secure in your own romantic abilities, in your own emotional space. Feeling like you're okay if you're on your own or not. Like the Fool doesn't need anybody else in his journey. I mean, he has his little dog here. It's very Wizard of Oz with Toto. And you're feeling a little bit like you're just walking off into the sun. You know, he's got his eyes closed, he's standing on the edge of a cliff, but he doesn't care. He's got his little doggy and his belongings. You know, he travels light. He has a romantic rose in his hand. He's ready to offer it to whoever he meets on his travels. He's so happy. He's just dandering off into the unknown and feeling good about it, embracing the changes, and starting to see things happen for him that he's been hoping to happen for a while with the 9 of Cups. And they're happening pretty quickly with this Knight of Swords energy. I'm sensing that by the end of the month, when the Sun has moved into Gemini, which is the Knight of Swords energy, you're going to be feeling a lot more like you're going to be feeling more movement in your life. Things are going to start to be taking off for you. You're not going to be feeling indecisive. You may be feeling a little bit like, you don't mind what type of relationships that you're actually embarking on. Like, you're not looking entirely for the long term until you meet the right person. You have to you're making choices, and then I can see you go from this carefree, adventurous energy where you're on this adventure, you're on this journey, you're feeling like optimistic and wild and free, and you're okay with things not being the way that you'd maybe expected them to be. I feel like you might have had relationships that were very short-lived, or intense disappointments, things that just happened over time that you weren't expecting, sudden strange things happening in your romantic life, or as I say, with your kids, even your creative levels. Like if you're doing something and you're very creative, you've been maybe feeling a little bit stuck artistically and creatively, and you're suddenly just okay with being on your own and starting over and trying something new, and you're seeing things go better for yourself. You're seeing as soon as you're having these optimistic thoughts, which is a Sagittarian way, but like more so than ever, you're having these optimistic bursts of inspiration and just going with the flow, and things start getting, it almost seems like you get a little bit overwhelmed at how many options you suddenly have, and it could be career, like these ideas just swimming around in your head. You might be finding it hard to sleep at night. You're having that many ideas and thoughts about what could be, and you don't know where you're going to go with it. Like you suddenly have, you start off on one road knowing what way you're going, and then suddenly there's 3 options. Like you can go this way, that way, or another way, and you're just like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like you start off with this complete embracing of the unknown, and then you have so many options you feel a little bit overwhelmed. And boom, then somebody appears. This is an earth sign. This could be a Taurus, it could be a Capricorn, or it could be a Virgo. But this person, it could be in your career life. They could be offering you a job, or they could be offering you advice that just makes everything settle down. There's a very settled energy about this person. Like they bring you this stability, and they just seem to have their feet very firmly on the ground, and you're like soothed by this person. You're just soothed by them, and you're like, I want this sort of stability. And there seems to be a commitment of some kind, because I mean, underneath here we have justice, so that's marriage to me. That's like long-term commitment. You may be meeting someone at the end of this month who's long-term potential, like someone that you could actually settle down with. As I say, it could be Taurus, could be Capricorn, could be Virgo, but the King of Pentacles can also sometimes represent Leo. And this seems to be somebody that I just feel like you get this overwhelming feeling of, like an aha moment. I was meant to meet this person. Everything else has been so chop and changey, like stormy weather. Chopping and changing, and things have been completely chaotic for you. And then you just decide to embrace the chaotic, and then you have all these options, you don't know which way you're going, and then suddenly it appears like this person that just seems to be like the one that you've been waiting for, to give you that clarity and that perspective that you've been hoping for a long time. Something that you really wanted this time last year. Someone that you really wanted this time last year. Like this, it's a very, as I say, it's strong energy, it's stable energy, steadfast. This can go the distance. But this isn't someone who's going to tolerate being an option. This is the type of person that you date, and from the get-go, they're very much, if you're dating other people, it's a no. They don't waste their time on the wrong person. They don't waste their time on flighty energy. And they come in at a time where you're really needing a little bit of stability. Like you seem to be embracing this change that's all been going on with Uranus, this chaotic stuff. Like your love life probably hasn't been that easy the last 8 years. You maybe thought you met the person and then they disappeared. You maybe were in a long-term relationship you thought would go forever, and then suddenly the type of person you wanted to be with long-term changed. I mean, Uranus does that, and it's you're out of the woods now. It's into career where you're going to embrace this difference. You're going to have more creative adventures. You're definitely going to be having opportunities to make more money, and to meet more interesting people. You know, the Knight of Swords could be an air sign energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius could be quite prominent in your life. I feel like it's very, you know, the Knight of Swords isn't typically a steady energy. This is sort of the lover that comes in and goes just as quick. It's the type of person that does the ghosting. You know, I feel like those are what you've been going through. Maybe that's the type of person you've been attracted to for a while. And you've wanted them, you've got them, and then you've been disappointed by them. But then comes Mr. or Mrs. Steady. You know, a much more balancing energy. You know, Sagittarius does, the Sagittarians that I know that work, you know, relationship wise, their best relationships are usually with earth signs, like Capricorns and Taurus and things. They just seem to have that sort of stabilizing influence that just seems to give a bit of balance and a little bit of steadiness. I feel like this is a steady energy. I feel like it comes after a long period of chaos. I really do. I feel like this is long overdue, but it just came at a time where you released this resistance to whatever it was that wasn't working, and you just decided to embrace the unknown. And it seems like your journey by the end of the month is bringing in a character that could be something pretty special, Sagittarius. Not gonna lie, I quite like this person coming in for you. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Sagittarius. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions, and I will see you in June. Bye.